In this video we're going to go over part 4 of the limit series. So limits part 4, and it's going to be one-sided limits. So what a one-sided limit is let's say x is a limit as x approaches a. Well, a one-sided limit, we'll say, is a one-sided limit if, let's see, if x smaller than a gives a different answer than x larger than a. And you'll see the notation as we do these 3 examples. We'll go over the notation as we do the examples. So for the first example, example 1, is the limit as x approaches 5 of the square root of x minus 5. We'll say try x equals 4.99. This should get us pretty close to 5, right? Well, 4.99 minus 5 gives us square root of negative 0.01. But this is an imaginary number. And for the Calculus 1 playlist, we're really not going to deal with imaginary numbers much, so this is imaginary. Square root of anything negative is imaginary. Well, let's try x equals 5.01. Well, that gives us square root of 0.01, and the square root of 0.01, it's a small number, but it's real. Or actually, it's a bigger number than I thought it would be. That equals 1. Not 1, 0.1. We'll say try x equals 5.0001. Well, that would give us square root of 0.0001. And the square root of 0.0001 equals 0.01. Okay, so this is approaching 0. So we have 2 different limits here. We'll say that the limit as x approaches 5 from the left, we put a minus sign to show that it's approaching from the left, of the square root of x minus 5 does not exist. But the limit as x approaches 5 from the right, we put a plus sign for approaching from the right, of x minus 5 equals 0. Closer we get x to 5, whenever x is greater than 5, gets us closer and closer to 0, because we're taking the square root of a smaller and smaller number. Let's go over another example. Example 2. See, the limit as x approaches 0 of the absolute value of x divided by x. If you need a review, these are absolute value signs. They just mean take x and make it positive. So if it's negative, make it positive. If it's positive, leave it be. So we'll say try x equals let's see, guess it would be negative 0.999, I'm sorry, negative 0.001. That'll get us close. Well, that would give us 0.001 divided by negative 0.001, which is going to give us a negative number. So 0.001 divided by negative 0.001 should be giving us, let's see, equals negative 0.001. So it gave us something pretty close to 0 there. Next we'll say try 0.001. Well, 0.001 divided by 0.001 should equal 1. So 0.001 divided by 0.001. So we have two different limits here. Whenever x is approaching 0 from the left, which is when it's close to 0 but it's negative slightly, we get 0 as our limit, and whenever it approaches from the right, we get 1. So the limit as x approaches 0 from the left of the absolute value of x over x equals 0. And the limit as x approaches 0 from the right of absolute value of x divided by x equals 1. So these are limits that have different sides. They're one-sided limits, because whenever we approach from each side, it is not an equal number. And we'll go over one more example. This one will be the limit as x approaches 4 of 1 divided by x minus 4. I think it's pretty clear from this point that we're going to be dividing by 0 if we plug x in. So let's just plug in two different numbers. We'll say try x equals, let's get a number below 4, 3.99. Put another 9 in there just for good measure. So it's 1 divided by 3.999 minus 4 would be negative 0.001. And 1 divided by negative 0.001 equals negative 1,000 in this case. And if we plugged in a even closer number, we would get a bigger negative number here. So this approaches negative infinity. Well, let's try a number a little bit bigger than 4. Try, let's see, 4.001. Well, that would give us 1 divided by 0.001. And plugging that in my calculator, I get 1,000. And if I tried a even smaller number between 4 and number between 4.001 and 4, so just a little bit smaller than this, I would get an even bigger number here because I'd be dividing by an even smaller number on the bottom. So this approaches 1,000. So we have two different limits here. And to write this out mathematically, we say limit as x approaches 4 from the left of 1 over x minus 4 equals negative infinity. Oh, this should not say approaches 1,000. That approaches infinity. And the limit as x approaches 4 from the right of 1 over x minus 4 equals positive infinity. So this is another example of a one-sided limit.